Like the pink hair.
It is now 6:30, and we will begin the public hearing of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen for October the 2nd, 2012. I now call the public hearing to order, and we'll turn it over to Administrator Bruce Richardson.
Good evening, everybody. Tonight we have two items on the public hearing agenda. The first one is ordinance 2012-23, an ordinance to amend the 2012-2013 fiscal year water and sewer fund budget and capital plan for the interstate pump station project. As always, if anybody would like to speak on this item, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and I'll be glad to hear whatever you want to say. Does anybody want to speak on this item? Seeing nobody come to the podium, I'll declare the public hearing for this item closed. We'll go on to the next item. It's ordinance 2012-24, an ordinance to amend the 2012-2013 fiscal year state street aid fund budget and capital plan for a street department dump truck and snow removal equipment. If anybody would like to speak on this item, please come to the podium at this time. Not seeing anyone approaching the podium, I'll declare the public hearing for this item closed. Mayor, I'll turn it back over to you.
Do we have any citizens' comments? I now call the public hearing adjourned.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. I live at 3217 Monmouth Drive in Pinnacle Point subdivision, and you all paved the roads in Pinnacle Point, and the one little road is a private drive, or was considered a private drive. And when I bought the property, I was told that it would be a part of the subdivision, and when the city would come to pave, they would pave the entire subdivision. The maintenance in our covenant states that the maintenance of that road will be the responsibility of the subdivision, and so, which is fine. I just thought the initial paving would include the road that I live on. So I'm just here to ask the city to do that.
Have been discussing with their attorneys, and I'm not sure where that stands at this point.
Okay.
But if you can give Bruce your phone number on this, and maybe our streets supervisor can get with you once that's determined, if it's private, and how that's going to come into play. So if that's okay, we'll get your number and get back with you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll pass that to Bruce. I called. It is now 7 o'clock. We will now begin the Board of Mayor and Aldermen meeting for October the 2nd, 2012. We do have a full quorum. Tonight, the prayer will be led by myself, and the pledge will be led by the Vice Mayor Farmer. Please stand. Dear gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for this day and the many blessings that you've bestowed upon us in this great city. Please be with each and every one of us as we sit here and try to make the decisions that best take care of the citizens of Laverne. Be with the men and women who fight for this country every day for these freedoms, for us to have these type of meetings. Be with all of our emergency personnel. Be with our sick. We have many sick here in Laverne that are fighting terrible diseases. Be with each and every one of us as we work in your name. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Has everyone had an opportunity to read over the minutes for the September 4th, 2012, and the public hearing for the September 4th, 2012 public hearing and September 4th regular meeting and September 18th special meeting? Has everyone had a chance to look over these meetings? And do I have a motion to approve or to deny?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Department reports. Fire Department.
Mayor, Alderman, for the month of September 2012, we had a total of 88 calls. They consisted of 2 structure fires, 13 fire alarms, 2 vehicle fires, 1 grass fire, 3 hazardous materials calls, 26 motor vehicle accidents, 30 medical calls, 8 emergency miscellaneous calls, and 3 non-emergency miscellaneous calls. The average response time for the month of September was 3.1 minutes, and the total water consumption for the month of September was 650 gallons. That water consumption will be, we're actually outflowing, flushing right now, so those will be all combined into one, probably by the next report. We've got a week, maybe 2 weeks left to do that. So, any other questions?
Do we have any news
We do.
on a new station?
We have made a final purchase on a piece of property just adjacent to the Church of Christ on Old Nashville Highway for the rebuilding of Fire Hall 1. And those transactions have already taken place, so we should take possession of the property within the next week or 2. So
Great. Sounds good.
moving on to the next step.
Any questions? Thanks.
Yes, ma'am.
Chief?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman, you should have available there the report. It should be on your screens. The report, are there any questions on the activity report as such? Okay.
Any questions?
On the consent calendar, we discussed it Thursday night, but for the official meeting, we have been awarded a $50,000 grant from Governor's Highway Safety Office for our alcohol saturation patrols. When you look at the activity report, you'll see year-to-date there have been 39 more DUI arrests this year through September than there were for the comparable period in 2011. So the additional hours of overtime we had this year of 41,000 sure did go a long way and actually accomplished what it should have, and that's putting people out there and finding those who are driving under the influence. Also on the 21st of September, Vice Mayor Farmer went with me along with a fellow that I'm going to introduce in just a minute to the Rutherford County Emergency Communications District Board meeting. I represent the mayor on that board, and that's the 911 board is what it's normally called. We had requested a grant in the amount of $128,000, which is an estimated cost for the CAD software alone for the new CAD RMS. I recused myself from the voting because it was a personal request from the city, on behalf of the city, and as a result, I think that probably helped get it passed. But they did give us approval unanimously for a $128,000 grant from the ECD. Once we get the CAD RMS and the financing's done and Phyllis writes that check, then she can do the request and show them we paid for it. We'll get $128,000 back from the Rutherford County Emergency Communications District. So as far as new dollars coming in that are separate and apart from those, that's the good news. Go to the next one, Doug. Felicia Smith passed this around on an email a few weeks ago. That's Lambeau Field, just a few weeks ago. That's pretty awesome. It's taken from above the stadium. Go to the next one. And if you look, you can see the 4 aircraft as they're doing their flyover, a photograph that was taken. And there is a reason for that, because next month something's coming up, and this past year we had pretty much a first as far as Veterans Day, thanks to Jeff and what his folks did with Parks and Rec. It was a really good program. And go to the next one. Sunday, November the 11th is Veterans Day. And normally we have our Veterans Day services at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. But this year, the 11th is on Sunday. So I'm bringing to the board and everybody here, we need to find us a time whenever we want to do it, whether we do it Sunday afternoon after church is over or another day, whatever. We need to discuss it between now and then so we can plan even bigger and better and get more of our veterans to come out and more of the community and the public to come out. There's an old guy and a young guy in that picture at the bottom. We have an obligation to remember. We have a lot of city employees. Jeff himself is a Cobra pilot and served across the pond in the sand. Many of them, AC's back here, several that are city employees. There are quite a few in the police department. About a little more than a fourth of our members are veterans who have served our great country. But whatever we do, we need to remember, honor, and recognize. Remember those who gave their lives for our freedom, and remember those, and then recognize those who have served and who are serving. This young guy beside me is Christopher Michael Walker. That's the reason I had to say this tonight. He's due to be boots on the ground in Afghanistan the 1st of December. So I have a special place in my heart this Veterans Day, and I'm an old son of an old daddy who was a young sailor in the South Pacific in World War II. So I have an old guy and a young guy in my family and many friends who have served. And we need to be sure that we continue and remember to do that. And then there's something else I want to bring to your attention. If you look outside the police department, there are 2 of these flags outside the police department. Kathy made these photographs next one the other day, one on either side of the front doors there at the police department. This is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I dare say there's not a single person in this room who hasn't known someone or had a family member or even themselves gone through the big C, the terrible C. And there's not yet a cure. And Maggie was a little upset back here a minute ago, but my wife is very aggressively hunting somewhere to find her a t-shirt that she saw online. She just can't find where to buy it, that says, "Please help find a cure before I get boobies." Now, you know, we're looking at several years down the road for this baby to get to that point, and we've been a long time. We still don't have a cure, and that claims a lot of our friends and our family members every year. So if you would remember, this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it can, guys, it can happen to us. Not very often, it's not very common, but males get breast cancer too and have died from breast cancer as a result thereof. Thank you for the time. Any questions?
just get together and let us know, and as soon as we come up with it, I'm fine with the Sunday afternoon. A lot of,
That's gonna be Jeff's call when
Yeah.
they do it, but we'll be there to help support.
a lot of the people that are not working Sunday afternoon, so would like to be able to attend. Y'all just work it out, let us know, as soon as y'all decide, we'll get it with Kathy, and we'll get this publicized. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Rescue.
I got one more thing. I did, well, I won't say that. I won't
Oh,
go
we
there. I won't go there, I forgot. I got another thing. Many of you have met Glenn Taylor. Glenn started with the police department May the 1st. He had over 31 years with Hendersonville Police Department. He had over 21 with the Tennessee Army National Guard as well. Glenn came to us as a police officer with our last group that we hired in May. But he's been around a while, and he and I think an awful lot alike, and we do things a lot alike. I guess it's because of our ages, you know, because he's just a little older than I am. Not much, but just a tad. But Glenn Taylor is the new assistant chief. He's the new number 2 there in the police department. I just wanted this opportunity for all of you to see him and meet him, and let the public see him and meet him as well. He brings a lot of experience and a lot of capabilities here to the department, and we're very glad to have him.
We're excited. Welcome. Now follow that, Dana.
No way. I'm not going to even try. Mayor, Alderman, we had 2 medical calls, 30 motor vehicle accidents, 1 traffic assist, 30 standbys, total of 1,655 miles and 1,342 hours. Our response time was 3.6 minutes. Any questions?
And I want to say, as we're filing the emergency, I don't think people truly understand what those 3 minutes mean. And I got to give a hands to our emergency personnel, because I hear on the radios when these calls come out, and it's just unbelievable what you hear on those radios, and these emergency personnel showing up this quickly. And I think it's already 3 lives have been saved because of the quick response times with the AEDs. We had a major wreck out at Fergus and Murfreesboro Road. Everybody worked quickly and professionally together to get these people. I think there was a lot of children involved.
There was 1 child and
Okay.
several adults.
Okay.
There was 4 ambulances called to
Okay.
that
I
one
knew there was
incident.
a lot. So I personally want to thank y'all for the work you do. Like I said, those 3 minutes make all the difference in the world. And I'm going to tell this out loud, so I hope Smyrna or none of the rest of them are listening, but we all say now, if anything happens to us, get us to the Laverne line, because those guys will take care of you. So I think that speaks highly of all that every one of y'all do, and I thank you.
Thank you.
Codes?
For the month of September, building permits were as follows: single-family dwellings, there were 2, 5 commercial, 9 miscellaneous, 5 signs, 3 garages and sheds, 7 others, which would include remodels, additions, so on and so forth, for a total number of 31. Plumbing permits were 2 single-family, 1 industrial and warehouse. Mechanical were 2 commercial, 2 single-family. Complaints were 57 tall grass, junk cars, 2 trash and yard, 6 others, being 8. Total number of single-family permits issued this year to date is 32. The same time period last year was 22.
We're easing up,
We're going
It's
up
picking up.
some.
picking up.
Things are beginning to happen.
Absolutely.
Any questions?
You and your team are doing a
Thank you, ma'am.
great job.
Thank you, ma'am.
And Dennis and all that y'all do,
Thank
your whole department.
Thank you.
Parks and Recreation.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor Aldermen. The report's before you. I show you down there, visitors in the park, that's 12,819. That equates to about 30,000 visitors, but the key is that most of those, or all of those, do not include the Old Timers Festival folks, because they were parking in the parking lot. So we estimated another 10,000 folks at Old Timers Day, making our total personnel going through the park at about 40,000. I expect things to taper off now. From this point, we'll start making that transition into indoor, so our buildings will start to rent more and pavilions less. The seniors got a lot going on. You can see their numbers, 756 senior citizens that they put through that building last month, and we need to start looking down the road.
For some more space.
We need to go up or out, or I don't know what we're going to do, but we got to figure something out. Got some meetings coming up. October 15th is the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee workshop. Also, after that is the Historical Preservation Advisory Committee meeting, and then the Senior Advisory Committee meeting will be Thursday, October the 18th. And on October 27th, from 2 to 4, we'll be doing our annual Trail of Treats in the park, and that's another one that's really taken off. I think the first one we did about 10 years ago, we might have had 500 or 600 kids, and now we're easily 2,000, 2,500. And that's an opportunity for our businesses and community groups and churches to come out to the veterans, and you know, the kids just basically, it's a contained trick or treat right there in the park, and it's lit, it's well supervised, there's activities for the kids, and we look forward to and invite everybody to come out for that. And then lastly, the Old Timers Festival was very successful. Thank you to everybody that had a part to do with that, especially thank you to the Parks Department and all that they did, the sacrifices that they made to make that a great event. And lastly, looking down the road a little bit further, kickball tournament, we're going to go ahead and try to do that November the 10th this year. And that's that's an adult co-ed kickball tournament that we do at Veterans Park. And didn't make last year, but we're going to go ahead and try to give it another go this year. But any questions of me? Thank you very much.
Finance.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Alderman. Tonight's financial report represents the first 2 months of our fiscal year. General fund is operating at expenses exceeding revenues by approximately $1.8 million, and that's mainly has to do with some large debt service payments that we just made at the end of August. Local sales tax, we've collected $683,000. That's $117,000 better than what we budgeted at this point, and $53,000 better than previous year at this point. State street aid revenues have exceeded expenses by approximately $121,000. Stormwater revenues have exceeded expenses by approximately $65,000. In the water sewer fund, revenues have exceeded expenses by approximately $620,000. And in the second page is the various balances in our bank accounts. And then on the third page is a comparison to prior year, with general fund expenses exceeding revenues approximately $1.1 million. And in the water sewer fund, revenues have exceeded expenses by approximately $271,000. Any questions?
Any questions?
Thank you.
Library.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Aldermen. You've got our numbers in front of you. I'm happy to answer any questions about those if you've had them. But October is going to be a busy month, and I'd really like to talk to you about some events we have coming up. We held our reading rally a couple of weekends ago, to go back to September a little bit. I want to thank everybody who helped with that, participated. We had a great time, and we hope all of you did too. I'd also like to thank the Laverne Garden Club. They took on the monstrous task of cleaning out the flower bed in the backside of the window at the end of our gallery, and they are planting us a butterfly garden. It's going to be beautiful when it's all done. So we really appreciate their efforts. They're donating their time, and they're getting the materials donated as well, so we're not spending any money on that. So for October, several big events happening this month. We'll be closed on Wednesday the 10th for an in-service day, and that's to set up for our fall book sale. That'll be happening the Saturday following, so Saturday the 13th from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. As usual, we have all kinds of great books, magazines, some DVDs, so something for everybody. So not only are you leaving with something good to read, you're also helping out the library. The funds we raise from that will help to fund our children's programs. And Saturday, October 20th, we're hosting a practice ACT for high school students. It is free to take this test. It doesn't count, it's just a practice test, but you have to pre-register for it. You can do that at our circulation desk, or you can email Carol at csmallwood@lavernetn.gov, and if anybody's interested, I can give you that information at the end of the meeting. Finally, one of our favorite events of the year is Gross Grub. It's October, I'm going to talk about Gross Grub. This year's takes place on Friday, October 26th from 3 to 4, and we will have a wide variety of disgusting but delicious treats, as usual. And we hope you'll all come out and join us. Any questions for me?
I have one. How did the chart go over?
It is going over wildly. We have it in the display case where we have our American Girl dolls, actually, and the children are loving it. Thank you very much.
Any other questions? Thank you. Water treatment.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman. We have as our monthly summary from August of this year compared to 2011. I think the big difference is our membrane unit wasn't running in August 11. I think looking for lagoon cleaning and some maintenance on different equipment associated with it. But all of our testing parameters were well inside the standards for the month. Chemical usage was pretty much basically the same, where water production was reduced a little bit from August 11, so the amount of chemicals was also reduced. Our maintenance for the month of August was at $4,602, leaving the balance of our contract year at $33,775. A little better update on that with the addition of the Myox pumps and some others. Our balance is about $21,000 there, so we're really going to watch it, try to conserve everything we can towards the remaining 4 months of that. I guess with the membrane unit, to explain that, when we reclaimed 4.7 million gallons from the filter backwashes and brought back into the distribution system. And that's money we saved from pumping it to Metro as waste, and also water that we're able to resell. So it's really, I guess we've got past the learning curve on it now that we really can benefit a lot from it. And I guess to top with Old Timers Fest, we had the great water debate going on at our booth there. And we had a total of 144 people stop by and participated. And we gave a blind test. We had 3 coolers of water. One was filled with the water from the water treatment plant. The other 2 were with just regular bottled water. And we had a 41.6% preferred the water treatment plant water, and that was the highest number. The other was at 35%, and the other at 23%. So it's, I guess, just down to the old myth. If you think it's bottled, you think it's better, but the taste is really in the homemade stuff. Just wanted to share that with y'all, so that the taste was really to claim for the city of Laverne over bottled water. That's about all I have.
And I took the test and I couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah, most people just, we had a lot of factors in it. A was one of the bottled water, was the first one everybody tasted, and they came there thirsty. So that's why I think that one was a little closer, but it really did. A lot of people really couldn't tell. Some of them said it had different taste to them, and we just took it all into consideration. But
It was fun.
the plant water did win.
Thank you. Public Works.
Mayor and Board, good evening. In the sewer department, we saw 140 work orders in the month. That's up 2 to last month. We responded to 64 Tennessee 1 calls in the sewer group and another 75 or so in water. You can see that down below, for a total of 139. That's down 31 from last month. Special projects, spent a lot of time out there on first shift, no overtime hours, working the LoJack project to move some lines around and make that go. We saw 55 and a half hours overtime in the month. That's up 15 and a half to last month. If we come on down to water department, you'll see 92 work orders. That's down from last month substantially. New meter sets down 2. We saw 6 last month, 4 this month. There's a special project, and I know Bruce understands the intimate details. We installed a backflow preventer at Summer Creek Apartments, sort of a good Samaritan effort. It was something that should have been done 12 years ago when that came in, but it was overlooked at the time, so we went out there and sunk a lot of time and a lot of cost into getting them right towards the cross-connection policy. Gallons not sold, 724. That's down about $250,000 from last month. And the water department saw 80 hours of overtime. That's down 55 hours from last month, which was 133. A special circumstance we're working today, yesterday, today, and tomorrow in water is when CUD was here, you'll recall they did some leak detection for us, trained us on how to use the equipment they use. We identified a leak at or near Pizza Hut. Water billing found that in the last few days that they had seen an excessive use. So they have a plumber on the ground today, tomorrow, fixing that. It's definitely their issue on their side of the meter. Okay. Okay. In streets, we saw 592 chipper pickups. That's down about 300 to last month. It's not because the work's not out there, but the chipper is aging very quickly, and we look forward to you guys giving us the vote on the clam truck that's coming up a little bit later on tonight. This thing that we're using today has been as much time down as it is up. 44 tons hauled, that's down 30 to last month. We saw 467 workhouse hours, that's up 11 to last month. You can see the detail in the different areas there. Weed eating was up substantially last month. We installed no signs. There were 2 last time around. We maintained 14 where we only maintained 7 last time around. We put in 24 cold mix bags. That's up 21 bags to last month. If you come on down to the bold, you see street department overtime, 48.5. That's up 40 hours to last month. But the bulk of that, as you can see, 36, was just us helping out on Old Timers Festival weekend. Special projects, lots of paving going on in Woodland Hills, and we're in ideation about where to go next once that's complete. Vehicle repairs, 49, that's up 9 to last month, and I won't bother you with the detail there, except for the last line. We saw 3.5 overtime hours in the month, and that's up just 1 to August. Any questions?
Any questions? Thank you. Human Resources.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Alderman. Just a few numbers for you. You have the reports before you. We had 169 applications in the month of September. 145 interest cards. Really liking the NeoGov system. It's easy to track and to report. I can tell you that we've had about. We can even tell you the number of people that look at the applications, about 2,000, just under 2,100, and about 11% of those that view the job descriptions and postings online apply. As far as interest cards, the most interest expressed in employment are in the areas of the police department, public works, and parks and recreation. I like to tell you that HR, even though we have a posting, we've not gotten up there yet. But it's really good to see. For example, we can tell you we've got patrol officers posting. We've had 318 views of that on that and about 50 applications in less than 10 days. So a little bit more than that, not counting to today. So about 16% applied. 72% of our applicants are males, about 27% females. So we have a lot of information that we can now share and have it readily at our fingertips. Some things that are going on this fall, we'll be doing the second installment of NeoGov, which I'll start training this week for performance evaluation and hopefully roll that out to the department heads before the end of the year to do performance reviews in the next year, in the next calendar year, in the first quarter. Open enrollment will happen. We've got a wage study that will hopefully get the results in November, and then a wage and benefit letter. Last but not least, if I have any time left, I would like to donate it to my friends Mike and Greg for my 3-minute time limit. And also, the last thing, I don't play kickball, but I'm up for a challenge.
Always something.
I know. Is there anything, any questions I can answer for you?
Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Fred. All right. At this time, we have some celebrities in our crowd tonight, and it is my honor to introduce these celebrities. And I'm going to begin with our new Miss Laverne 2012 Queen, Miss Dakota Hayes. You'd like to come up here? I can stand for your pictures. That's why I'm going to stand back here so they see y'all. Yeah, you get up front and center. And her first runner-up is Miss Erica King. Thank you, ladies. Next, we have our junior Miss Laverne 2012 Queen, Miss Madison Gossman. And with her tonight, we have second runner-up, Miss Abigail Nell. All right, moving right along, our young Miss Laverne for 2012, Michaela Klein. I see my name. And with her tonight, we have her third runner-up, Miss Hannah Holder. And unfortunately, our little guys couldn't be here with us tonight. I don't think we have any of our little ones with us tonight, and I don't believe I have any of my People's Choice with us. It's fall break, so I think they're all out. But these lovely ladies will be representing us for the next year, so you'll be seeing a lot of these young ladies in the parades and at a lot of our events, and we're honored to have them with us here tonight. Has everybody got their pictures? Thank y'all so much. We appreciate y'all being here with us. Thank you. What? They're not shy, are they?
Just a little bit.
Just a little shy.
Just a little.
Next, we have some sad news, but some happy news for one of our employees. And at this time, we're going to show our appreciation and bid an employee that's been with us for the last 5 years farewell as she moves on to another job. Miss Katie, if you'd come up, please. Katie is our project engineer for stormwater. She has moved up in the world and leaving us behind to a better job elsewhere, and we're very, very proud of her and proud of the time that she did spend with us, and I'd like to read this if I may. City of Laverne Certificate of Appreciation is hereby granted to Katie Klein for your dedication and hard work for the City of Laverne. The city hereby congratulates you on your new position with the City of Columbia and thanks you for your 5 years of service to our community. We wish you the best at everything you do in the future. Given this day, 2nd day of October 2012, we bid you well and hope, please don't forget us and come back and visit us. Thank you for, okay. Thank you, ladies. I know the fire chief down there, so I'll tell him to keep an eye on it. Next is a fun lady. For any of you that have been to the library, have children, we love this lady. You never know what she's going to have on. You never know what she's going to do. She's full of life, and she always makes you smile. And at this time, I'd like to bring up Miss Lorna Cripps, please, as our Employee of the Month. And I love the details. You see why the children love her. She puts her heart and soul into our library. And she makes the children want to come, and she takes her time, and we so appreciate your dedication to our children here in the city. The City of Laverne Certificate of Appreciation is hereby granted to Lorna Krebs for your dedication and hard work for the City of Laverne. The city hereby recognizes you as the Employee of the Month for October 2012 and thanks you for the excellent work you do for the City of Laverne. And we need to get you some orange hair. Thank you, Lorna, for everything you do. You're so appreciated. Thank you. That's it. That's always the fun part. And we want to thank all of y'all for being here tonight. Now, sorry guys, but we got to get on into business now. We're going to begin with number 4. Motion to approve the paving of streets in the Pinnacle Point Phase 1.
Make a motion to defer it.
Okay, have we heard anything?
Mayor, we received the, Kyle emailed me the completed invoice from Hoover, so I'm going to forward that on to the attorneys for the Butlers and then see what we can get worked out, if anything.
Okay, so
and I'll report back. I hope to have some news next meeting would be my goal.
So I have a motion. Do we need to vote on that to defer it? I have a motion to defer. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Number 5, second reading, ordinance 2012-23, an ordinance to amend the 2012-2013 fiscal year water and sewer fund budget and capital plan for the interstate pump station project. Motion to approve or to deny?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. I have a motion and a second. We'll do a roll call. Alderman Green?
Aye.
Vice Mayor?
Aye.
Alderman Waldron?
Aye.
Alderman Broker?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion carries. Second reading, ordinance 2012-24, an ordinance to amend the 2012-2013 fiscal year state street aid fund budget and capital plan for the street department, dump truck, and snow removal equipment.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Do I have any questions? We'll do a roll call. Alderman Broker?
Aye.
Alderman Waldron?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Farmer?
Aye.
Alderman Green?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion carries. We'll move on to the consent agenda items, but I would like for y'all to take notice that the sign for the front of the City Hall has been taken off. They did not meet the requirements, so that has been removed from your consent agenda. So I need a motion to approve or to deny.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Number 8. Motion to appoint or remove board members. And I have the Economic Development, which we have, and then I have Local Emergency Planning Commission on my sheet.
I'm sorry, I put the wrong sheet in the packet.
Okay.
We do have the one vacancy from the police department
Okay.
for the LEPC, and Chief's recommendation is for Assistant Chief Glenn Taylor to be appointed.
Yeah, that kind of threw me when it didn't
sorry.
match. Okay. So we have a recommendation for Assistant Chief Glenn Taylor to be placed on the Local Emergency Planning. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Number 9, first reading, ordinance 2012-25, an ordinance to amend the 2012-2013 fiscal year water and sewer fund budget and capital plan for the water treatment plant improvements.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
We'll do a roll call. Alderman Green?
Aye.
Vice Mayor?
Aye.
Alderman Waldron? Alderman Broker?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion carries. Number 10, motion to approve the renewal of the telecommunications service agreement and addendums 1, 2, and 3 with TDS for data and telephone services. My first question is, Evan, have you reviewed these?
Mayor, I have, and Bruce and I were meeting about that this afternoon, and if we can do it, and I'll let Bruce comment on that, I'd like to try to postpone this for a month. I didn't get it till last week and hadn't had a chance to talk to TDS about it, and there's some things I'd like to tweak, and I think we might have some room to do that. Bruce, I don't know what your...
Yeah, from my understanding from TJ, he stated that really the only concern is this new contract is actually at a lower cost than what we're currently paying. So until we sign this new agreement, we will not have that savings. So I think that's the only issue there. I don't think they're going to cut any of the services off until, we meet the next time in November. So I think it would be okay to defer this until the next meeting.
Okay. So do I?
And Mayor, just also to comment, you'll note on the addendum that it's at least for some of the services the city's going to get, we're talking about a 60-month contract, and that's a long time. So I think we ought to have the opportunity, even if we delay it a month, we ought to have an opportunity to get it at least as close to the way we want it as
Absolutely.
we get it.
Absolutely. Okay.
Motion to defer.
I have a motion to defer. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion to approve a proposal from CTI Engineers, Inc. for sewer pretreatment streamlining regulations.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Number 12, motion to approve proposal from Severn and Trent. If you'll remember, we had several options that we discussed at the workshop.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve a 3-year deal with I think there were 2 1-year options. And I guess I guess we'll have to get a second.
Second.
Okay, I have a second. Now we open this up for a discussion.
My only question, and it's very pleased with Severn Trent and this offer and stepping up, but we do have some thoughts down the road of maybe taking it over. And the 5-year may not, it may not be 5, maybe 10 years, but if we can do something earlier, what I think the Vice Mayor asked last in the workshop, Evan, how can we get out of this? I mean, or is there anything in the verbiage that if we
Yes, sir. Alderman Broker, under the terms of the contract, once the contract is signed, there's only one way to terminate it, and that's if either party breaches. And based on my reading of that contract, it's the way this board ought to view it is pretty much ironclad. So short of some really strange event occurring, whatever amount of time you decide to lock in for on this, count on that being that amount of time.
Having said that, I think 3 years is the best. I think with all of our projects we get going, it probably will not be 3 years, as we stated at the workshop, that we could probably take it over, probably realistically. So go with that motion.
So does everybody understand this motion? Bruce, would you like to read that back for us, please?
I have a motion by Alderman Brogan to approve the 3-year deal with the 2 1-year options. The only question I have is which option. Are we doing option 1, option 2?
That would be option 2.
Okay. That's the only thing.
And let me also ask Alderman Broker, if you don't mind, that because we don't have, I received an email late this afternoon from Severn Trent with a proposed amended contract, but I'd like to take some time to look at that. So if you want to move to approve it, subject to my approval of the form.
All right, so I need to withdraw and then put a contingency on it.
You could, yeah, I think that probably.
Okay, I'll withdraw my motion.
I withdraw the second.
I'd like to make a motion for a 3-year contract, option 2, with 2 1-year options contingent upon approval from city attorney.
Second.
Would y'all like that read back one more time? Okay, do I have any further discussion? Okay, we will do a roll call. Alderman Broker.
Aye.
Alderman Waldron.
No.
Vice Mayor.
Aye.
Alderman Green.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion carries. All right, we're down to Mayor and Alderman comments. Alderman Green, we'll start with you.
Well, the only thing I have, we have lots of our elderly people in Laverne that need prayers. I mean, just because I know at the senior center we have one lady, her name is Marilyn, and she's been in the hospital for quite some time. And then we have Ms. Reed that I try to help. But we just have lots of them. And I would like to say this, that our senior center is booming.
You don't have elbow room down there.
You do not have any room, and I'm telling you, we're going to have to move somewhere, and Donna does such a great job with them, and she is so kind, all of the staff. It's just a pleasure, and to see how many new people. I mean, I've been in Laverne since 1970, and I know a lot, the names, but I know a lot of faces. But there's a lot of faces there that I don't have any idea. I have to, you know. So I enjoy being with them because since I'm on their advisory board, and since I am a senior, we have lots of fun. So if anybody wants to come and join us, I would just invite you to come on to the Senior Center on Stones River Road.
They do have a good time.
Oh, we have a great time.
Thank you. Vice Mayor.
Got nothing tonight.
Got nothing? Alderman Waldron.
Just the Rockford and the Brown family, keep them in the prayers for their loss. And Katie, we're going to miss you. Good luck, Katie. Wish you the best. That's it.
Mayor, I got a few things tonight. October 13th, again, is Gary Rockhold's roadblock. I want to say it's 9 to 2. Then on that evening at the Senior Citizen Center, we're going to have a spaghetti dinner for them. Like everyone to come out, support this. It's a medical benefit for Mr. Rockhold. So I also want to go something that Jeff had talked about. I want to give a special thanks to all the departments as far as the Old Timers Festival. It's definitely a multi-departmental deal. So thank you for everyone for making it another success, and especially Parks and Rec and the volunteers that put a lot of time in. So thank you very much. There is something I want to bring up tonight because it's been addressed to me about 5 separate times, and it's about our grinder pump issue. I got an email last night. Someone's telling people out there that the city is charging anyone anytime the grinder pump breaks down. Again, just to go over it again, grinder pumps that break under normal wear and tear, the city will replace. If there is an abuse issue, there will be a letter asking people to refrain. If there is a second abuse, then there will be a second warning letter. And then the third time, okay? And I don't believe we've even got close to that. So for whatever reason, these untruths are out there. Again, just want to let everyone clear the air, give some clarity to the grinder pump policy. Again, it is not if something breaks down. So please don't worry if you're doing just normal, everyday, whatever you do. If you're not, I'm putting match. I kind of got stuck there, but I mean, if you're not putting matchboxes down there or hypodermic needles, you're safe. So again, am I clear? Is that about right, guys? Okay. I wanted to say that, clear that air, because there is some mistruths being told. And again, I just want to say thank you to this board. This is our last meeting together, and it's been an honor working with y'all. And wasn't always easy, but we've done some great things. So again, I've been honored to work with y'all, and hopefully there's more great things to come. So.
Absolutely. And I'll go a little bit further. I know we're getting these emails. I don't know. There's been a lot of lies told. This board has not talked about taxes being raised again. Not next year and not the next year. We set our 5-year plan. Everybody's seen our 5-year plan, and no one has mentioned raising taxes again. The water, we are working diligently on to bring the cost down. The sewer, unfortunately, is out of our control. We do whatever Metro comes in and deems that we're going to pay. Unfortunately, if they want their sewer plant fixed and raise our sewer rates, there's nothing we can do. So a lot of that has been going, we've been getting a lot of emails, frustration. Again, I don't know where all this is coming from. If you have any questions, I'm up at the office. You have all of our cell phone numbers. Please call and ask, or please come by and see us. I'm going to reiterate on the fact of old timers. Thanks to everyone that participated. Volunteers, Box 100, our fire, police, public works. It was a collaborative of everybody working together, and I thoroughly enjoy seeing everybody working together and having a good time. Alderman Green even let me drive her around. She trusted me in the golf cart. I didn't throw us out once.
She scared me, but she got me there safe.
But we had fun.
We did.
Also, we've got some congratulations to Shane and Tiffany Scott. Shane works for our sewer department, and they have a new baby, Morgan Lynn. I believe they were told it was going to be a boy, and they were surprised with a beautiful young lady. So congratulations to this couple. We want to thank, again, the Laverne Garden Club for the work that they're doing at the library and for what they've done and donated their time here around City Hall. It's very much appreciated. Also, we're starting to begin our collections for toys and food for the Laverne's Toy Drive. So I know you can bring, if you have some, you can bring them to City Hall. You can bring them to the police stations. Guys, help me out if there's other places that y'all have them dropped off. Library? We'll start December 1st. December 1st, okay. But if you're ready now, we know we will take them here at the City Hall or at the police department, and we'll have that advertised as well. And also, last but not least, the League of Women Voters will have a debate. We will host it here at the City Hall on Thursday, October the 11th at 7 p.m. We do have capacity here of 125. However, we are setting up a tent outside. You will have a big screen TV out there. So please, we don't want the smallness of this room to hinder you. We are trying to make it as comfortable for you to be here. If you can get in here. If not, we have you covered outside with a big screen TV, and it will be shown live. And again, that is the League of Women Voters that is handling everything. It begins at 7 o'clock. So we just provide the place and the setup. They do everything else. No one in the city has anything to do with the questions, how they set it up, who's handling it, or anything else. All we do is try to make you as comfortable as possible while you're visiting here. Unless anyone has anything else, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. Assistant Chief, welcome to our team. Katie, I'm still not speaking to you. No. But best of luck in all your endeavors. I hope you do quite well there. And Beauty Queens, thank you so much. We'll be seeing a lot of you. So with all this said, this meeting is adjourned.